So on that note, let's take a few minutes. Let's just do maybe let's do 3-part breathing, because then we can connect with the heart space. What intentions, what inspiration, what drives us has a lot to do with the heart space. And then the lower hand, think about the more physicality portion of who we are and putting our energy into creating and manifesting our intentions. So let's just start with initiating the breath from the lower abdomen, letting it rise up into the chest, connecting to our desires, and then exhale, releasing, which is another part of the equation. We have intentions, clear vision based on our desires, but then once you put it out there, you can put energy into it, but then letting go of expectations. So that's also an important part, is having the energy behind something, right? But as we know, life has a way of throwing curveballs. So letting go of what we think the outcome looks like, because oftentimes the outcome is much, much different. So if we're too attached to what we want it to look like in the end, might be missing pieces along the way that are opportunities for seeing new ways. So also building upon that form of resilience and being able to pivot and maneuver. A lot of ingredients, but maybe take just a moment, do a scan of 2025 in your brain, and then what do we want to bring into 2026? And a reminder that, where the mind goes, energy follows. So even by creating intentions in the brain and gentle movement, we're guiding energy in that direction. So rather than focusing on what we don't want, right, we're focusing on what it is that we want to create. So putting energy in the right direction for you. And then let's open our eyes, arms down. And then we'll go into, somehow I can't see you all. There we are. Let's go into knocking on the door of life. So turning from the hips and the waist. Let's start first sparking that energy inside. This is winter, so we're going to move just a little more slowly. Our bodies, especially up here, I think I woke up and it was 12 degrees or something. The pipes did not freeze, which is good, but the body might be a little bit tighter right now, contracted. So let's gently start opening up the space, the lower back. And then let's come up below the collarbone. Let's open up the lungs, getting energy into the area close to the armpit. We have a lot of lymph nodes there. And then come up to the top of the shoulders. As a reminder, so we're entering into the year of the horse, which is also a year of momentum. Last year was the year of the snake. Had a lot to do with shedding old patterns, old beliefs, things that maybe suited us and no longer do. And let's come back below the collarbone. And then entering into a year where the energy is a lot about, okay, now we've shed. Now we have this momentum driving us forward. So great for intentions and bringing them into manifestation. Down to the waist. But just like, one of the pillar of Chinese medicine, yin and yang, it's important to still maintain balance. We can have all the momentum, but we still need to find periods of rest and reprieve. Start to unwind. Spinal cord breathing. Let's inhale, bring the hands up by the head and look up. Ooh, nice opening in the chest. And then exhale, curl the spine forward. Chin tucking down towards your chest. And then inhale. Inhaling inspiration, new vision, acknowledging desires. And then exhale, letting go of expectations, the lead. And then we're creating space, literal space in the heart center, opening up the lungs. If there's been a lot of grief, I feel like 2025, there seemed to be an inordinate amount of loss. So also acknowledging this area that might have been a little bit more vulnerable, and then gently creating love and compassion for ourselves, for others. And then gently working the spine back and forth. Literally rocking our nervous system back and forth, creating this rhythm that is like aloe. Let's do a few more. Nice, slow inhale. To really relish this moment, this breath for what it is. Having gratitude and saying thank you. And I'm going to exhale and let that breath go. These many experiences of life and death, right? This one breath, we give life to it, and then we exhale and let it go. And in that letting go, create space for a new energy to come in, to be grateful for. And then again, we let it go. And then one more inhale. And then exhale. Let's work a little bit on the heart space again, talking about intentions. Intentions really driven by what means a lot to you, what resonates in your heart space. So let's gently knock at the center of the chest, kind of close by the top of the sternum. Just helping to, sometimes it's even hard what it is that we want. I don't know, right? Sometimes it's not as, especially if we're not used to asking, right? Asking for and being open to receiving. This gentle stimulation starts moving some energy in this space, giving yourself the opportunity to be a little more comfortable asking what it is that you need, what it is that you want to create. And then come down towards the bottom of the sternum and then back up. Just gently moving energy all through the center of the chest. And then let's come to the top of the sternum. Take your index finger and your middle finger on each hand and place them. Find the manubrium, which is this little divot at the where the collarbones almost meet. And then just below that, and then right to the side, like maybe an inch or two, you'll find the intercostal space. So it's the space between the ribs. And we'll just start making little circles. We call it round rubbing. So a little acupressure, just releasing. This actually is the very top of the kidney channel. Might be a little bit tender. So a few moments in the first intercostal space and then come down a little bit just below that. If you can't feel it, it's okay. Just about an inch or two lateral to the center. Just make little tiny circles, opening up these spaces. It's a lot to do with our emotional energy. Yeah. And then right at the center of the sternum, right in the center, a point called Ren 17. It really is great at opening up our lungs, opening up the chest, bringing nourishing energy, releasing stuck emotions. And then release. Just give ourselves a moment, feeling the space, maybe opening up in the lungs and the heart. And then let's continue our chi massage. Let's come over to the front of the right shoulder. Start knocking now. Now we'll move energy through the meridians. So working our way down the inside, the lung channel, pericardium, the heart channel, all the way down to the fingers. And then let's come up the outside. And let's hang out right at the crook of the elbow for a moment. There's a pretty important acupuncture point called large intestine 11. It's really good for our immune system. So we're just activating that a little bit. There's a lot of flu going around, so just keeping our system healthy. And then come all the way back up to the shoulder. And then we'll just repeat that circuit 2 more times. And then coming back over to the chest and then over to the front of the left shoulder. Let's go down the inside. Again, same channels, lung, pericardium, and heart. And then coming up the outside, small intestine. Let's stop again at that crook of the elbow. Large intestine 11. And then the other channel that runs on the outside is the Sanjiao, also called triple burner. And then come all the way back up. And then let's do that 2 more times. So setting our intentions first and then awakening the energy circulating in our bodies so that we're able to move forward easefully. Let's come to the center of the chest, down to the solar plexus. And then we'll go down the left, across underneath the belly button, back up the right, and then across. So making a big circle, I'm probably going to look like I'm going the wrong direction now. Just go in this direction that I was cueing you on. Just moving energy, circulating it through the digestive system. And then just below the belly button. And then let's bring our hands around the back. Tuck your tailbone down slightly to open up this whole area. And then let's knock across the lower back. The adrenals that sit like little hats on top of the kidneys. Get a little massage here. And then let's travel down the back of the legs. So from the glutes to the top of the hamstrings, down to the back of the knees, down the calves, all the way to the outer ankle. And then let's come up the inside. So inner ankle, inner calf, inner knee, inner thighs. And then again, come around. We'll do that 2 more times. And then let's come just below the belly button. And then release. And let's pause. So we have our map, our intentions. We just gassed up the car. Oiling it. Making sure that everything's ready to go. And then let's do a little stretching of the head, neck, and shoulders. So just think, when it's really cold out, if you didn't already know this, one of the best things to do is let your car run just for a few minutes, let the engine warm up before we go. So let's take a moment. Inhale, looking at your hands, and then exhale, turn the palms away, stretching over to the left so that front arm almost comes not all the way straight so that your elbow is not locked, but stretching enough that you're feeling a stretch in the outside of the arm, and then opening up the fingers so you feel a stretch all the way to the palms of your hands. And then inhale, look at your hands. And then exhale, push away. And now gently turn your head in the opposite direction. So you should feel an extra stretch through the neck as we do this. And then turn your head back around, inhale. And then as you slowly push away, you're going to turn over to the right. And then inhale. Exhale. Getting a nice stretch all the way through the meridians of the arms, from the fingers to the palms, the forearms, all the way to the shoulder and the neck here. Now inhale one more time. And this time as we exhale and turn your head, let's keep our head over to the right for a moment. You can just breathe here naturally. And just become aware of your peripheral vision. Just let your vision to the sides expand. Maybe turn your head a little bit more. Just taking in the space around you. Opening up our awareness. And then inhale the hands in and then drop the arms down. Let's pause here for a moment, just noticing the opening throughout the left. And then let's bring the hands over to the right. Nice inhale. And then exhale, pushing over to the right, turn and look left. And then inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Again, stretching through that front forearm, outer arm, all the way through the fingertips. And one more time, we'll inhale. And this time, keep your arms extended over to the right as you turn and look left. Breathe naturally. And then again, see if you can pull in more awareness from your peripheral vision. It's a great technique in mindfulness, expanding our vision. When we start to pull in from the boundaries of our vision, it actually pulls us more and more into this moment. And then exhale, release the arms down. And now let's shake everything out. Let's bounce the knees, bounce the arms. And let's do a few healing sounds. So inhale through the nose and exhale. Let's shake off 2025, right? The good, the bad. We are in a new year, new energy. New possibilities. And then let's start to slow down. So the flows that we'll be going through today, we'll first do a flow for the three treasures to connect our bodies, our emotional, who we are physically, our emotional bodies, our mind, and tapping again into those our visions, our intentions. And then we'll go into a flow called the Archer that has to do with what are those intentions and the driving energy behind them, and having clarity and focus. Intentions are great, but if there's a lack of clarity, it's if the map is there's just like a mountain here and a lake here, it's not clear enough, we're not going to be able to put energy into where we want to go. And then we'll end with a little work to bring those into physicality through an earth-centered movement. Let's start with the palms facing down. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. First, we'll just connect to the space below, this gravitational energy of earth. Just feeling the space between the palms and the earth. Imagine drawing energy up through the palms. Just feeling the vibration, however subtle or apparent it is. Where we are right now. And then we'll draw the arms up. So palms are facing each other, fingers up. Mine might be just off camera for you. But again, close your eyes. Now we're connecting to the universe, this vast expanse above. Imagine drawing energy from the universe down through your fingertips and the crown of the head, like we're little antennas. Drawing energy all the way down the arms, through the crown of the head, right into the center of the chest. Like we're plugging ourselves in. And then we'll take the hands together, making a diamond shape so that the index fingers touch, the thumbs touch. So there's like a little triangle right in front of the heart center, which is connecting to nature, the space around us, the space between heaven and earth, the sky above, earth below. This is where we reside, a manifestation of the intermingling of the universal energy, the stars, the moon, and the earth below. And then drop the hands down, and we'll go a few flows, a flow for mixing all of these energies. So take our chi ball here, make it a little wider. And then as we inhale, sometimes it's better to do this with eyes closed, but you can have them open. Just imagine first, before we start this, that there's a golden light at the very base of your spine. Even maybe more so, the base of your pelvis. And then we'll start to move our chi ball in front of us as we imagine that golden light moving up the back of the spine. So think about that light starting around the coccyx, moving up the back of the spine as we bring the hands up. Imagine that light moving up the spine, thoracic spine, cervical spine, all the way into the center of the brain. And then that light moves a little bit forward and then starts coming down the front of the throat and then down the front of the spine, all the way back down to the pelvis again. So as we inhale, again, that light moving up the back of the spine into the center of the brain and then down the front. And then inhale. And then exhaling down. So we're creating a circuit. This is called the microcosmic orbit. It's this connection of the dew channel, which runs up the back, and the Ren channel, which runs up the front, but we're actually moving downwards because we're creating a harmonious energy in the heart center. And sometimes too much energy running up is or can be too agitating. So we're just taking energy up the back of the spine and then bringing it down the front, right to the pelvis, the basin, connecting our spirit, our consciousness, our heart space, and the physical body. Starting to create movement integration. Just gently working this wheel of energy, going up the back and down the front. Connecting our desires, our intentions, what drives us, the consciousness behind that, and the energy behind putting it into motion. And then let's bring, on the next exhalation, let's bring our hands back down into our chi ball for a moment. So now that we've connected with that, we'll go into the archer. So the archer, perfect. We're going to turn our right toes so they're facing the right side of the room. So you're not really in a full warrior position, but the knees are slightly bent, especially the front knee. Now your right arm is going to be moving linearly. So it's going to be moving towards, like, imagine there's a target over on the right, and this hand extends and is reaching towards that target. And then your left arm is going to be coming across. This is what's pulling the actual bow. So your hands will be coming across the heart, the area of the heart here. Now bend the front knee slightly, and as you do, you're going to bring your right arm in a little bit as you circle your left arm around, so you end up at a crisscross of your forearms, and then straighten that front knee as you pull the bow back and extend your right arm forward. So bending the knee, right arm comes in as you circle around, and then exhale, looking at that target. So we have the energy here. We're circling around, drawing and gathering in, and then exhale, looking towards that target with clarity and intention. And inhale, gathering in, exhale. Inhale, gather in, and exhale. So we have our intentions, we're drawing, gathering energy in so that we have energy to put that into motion, into manifestation. Inhale and exhale. Let's do one more. Exhale. Now keep that arm extended. Bring your left arm around so they're both facing the right. And then bend the knees, draw the arms down, and then come to the center. And as we roll up, crisscross the forearms. Inhale, the arms come apart, and then we let go. So we can have intentions, put energy behind it. That's where we want it to go, but then letting it go. That's part of the whole process, letting go of expectation. Now let's turn the left foot over to the left. So bending in that front knee, but keep the back knee slightly bent. This time the left arm is out. And then your right hand is back by your chest. So bend that front knee as we draw the left arm up, and then the right hand comes around in a circle, and then straighten that knee as we pull the bow, aiming in the direction that we want to go in. So inhale, gather in, and then exhale. Inhale and exhale. Nice and slow. Gathering resources, gathering your energy, having clarity and vision of where we want to go, what we want to create. breathing. As we know in target practice, whether it's archery or another form, breathing is really important. Breathing, having a sense of peace and calm. So we're inhaling clarity and then exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. This time, just keep your left arm out. Draw the right arm around. So they're both extending out to the left. And then exhale down, back to the center. Inhale, crisscrossing the arms as you roll up. And then letting go. So all of that work, I love the archer for that purpose. Intention, but movement, gathering resources to put those intentions into existence and manifestation. So now that we've done that, we'll go into single-armed pebble in the pond to really consolidate. We're consolidating and consolidating energy of those intentions into manifestation. So we'll start with our hands in our intention chi ball here. We'll just first connect. And then we'll turn slightly to the right. Let the left arm float out over to the side. And then turn back to the center as you do. Your left arm will come around in a circle back to the beginning. So there's just a slight turn. Extend the arm out, around in a circle. And then inhale in. So let's go nice and slow. Really feeling the space underneath the palm. So we're connecting to this earth energy and drawing it in. Exhale. And inhale. The earth is a very dense energy compared to fire and even water. So we're solidifying what it is that we want. And inhale in. So the breathing here is we exhale out and then we inhale back in. What it is that we need in order to have the energy driving these intentions. Gathering it right into the lower dantian. What is it that in December 31st, 2026, what do you want to say to yourself at that point? Whatever your intentions are, act like they've already been manifested. And maybe think of some words that your December 31st self is telling you, your current self. Maybe thank yourself for creating the intentions and all the things that you've manifested this year because of your own clarity and focus and uncompromising self love. And then let's inhale back to the center, holding our chi ball. This golden light of all that is possible. And then let's draw that back in and store it right in our lower dantian. So inhale the arms down, around, and up. And then take all of that, all the intentions, all of that energy, and put it right into the lower dantian. And inhale. And exhale. One more time. Inhale. And let's bring the feet close together. Let's give our lower abdomen, the lower dantian, a little circle rub here. And then let's pause, feeling grounded, clear-minded, open, expansive, resilient, powerful. And then when you're ready, you can crack your eyes open.